overwhelmed, trapped in a maze. Small business owner, stress had me in a daze. Every problem piled up, couldn't catch a break. Thought I couldn't make it, my dreams were at stake. But then I found a group that changed my whole perspective. Our success group of a community so effective. We all chasing that dream, sharing struggles and fears. They understood my journey, wiped away my tears. Together we broke through, we rise above. No more feeling stuck, we're fueled by love. Our small business is shining, reaching new heights. And with the support of our success group, we're taking flight. The power is strong, the vision so clear. Building our dreams with no more fear. Together we're resilient, unstoppable force. With our success group. Community so effective. We all chasing that dream, sharing struggles and fears. They understood my journey, wiped away my tears. Together we broke through, we rise above. No more feeling stuck, we're fueled by love. Our small business is shining, reaching new heights. And with the support of our success group, we're taking flight. The power is strong, the vision so clear. Building our dreams with no more fear. Together we're resilient, unstoppable force. With our success group.
All right. Well, that was fun. I think we're at a new location too. So well, Kylene, introduce yourself and let's just get into this.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to Rising Tide Talks. I am Kylene Montgomery and I encourage transformation with positive energy.
I'm Becky Kutzer and I believe it takes a village to run a business.
And I'm Aaron Montgomery and we are here to help you fall deeper in love with your business, right? Take those have tos and turn them into get tos. And kind of exciting talk today. We had some time off and we're going to talk about Thanksgiving and gratitude and some stuff like that. So, but good to be back and having a quick chat about just kind of how to navigate this entrepreneurship world that we're in, right? So, and we're going to see if we can get some people over here because I know people were sitting there waiting for this, and then the system didn't like whatever was going on, and now we're here. So, Becky, what are we going to talk about today a little bit, and then I will go send some messages while you're doing that.
Well, we didn't have a true topic, I guess is what you'd say. So we just decided that we'd kind of just discuss kind of how we started working together and then talk about our Summit of Success that is coming up in April. I'm super, super, super excited about that. And we haven't quite got the word out enough yet. And so I think this would be a great opportunity for us to discuss that a little bit more and let everybody know kind of what it's about, my vision, your vision, our vision, everybody's vision that we want to put into this, and hopefully we can entice some people to come see us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, where do we start, Kylene?
All right. Well, let's start with our gratitude here today. We always want to start with gratitude. It's our superpower. It's something we all can choose to use in our life. Really, especially as entrepreneurs, it's important to come back to gratitude when you have your down moments, those challenging moments, just really being in that mindset of appreciation for the experience and what you can learn and do differently in future, just really appreciating that opportunity. So we're going to start with some gratitude. So if you're listening live, please share what you're grateful for today. Becky, do you want to share what you're grateful for today?
I sure can. Today and this last week, I've just been super grateful for my husband. He is the other partner in my business. He is very silent for the most part in my business. However, very crucial in my business as he built a table and reset the new press that I received in its spot, and has spent some evenings trying to get the air compressor hooked up to it and get it ready for me, when he could have easily said, that has to wait. So I'm grateful for his time and talent to do the behind the scenes stuff for me.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
How about you, Aaron?
Unfortunately for Kylene, I'm not so silent. So, but man, yeah. The crazy part is, I know this is coming every time, and every time I'm like, man, there's so much to be grateful for. I should come up with something, and then I don't. And so then I'm like, what is it, right? But I'm going to say I'm grateful. I'm going to say I'm grateful for the people that I get to be around. Becky being at the top of that list, Kylene, obviously, my wife being at the top of that list up there too. But I just
who's at the top, Aaron?
Is that why you're in the middle,
I'm sorry,
Becky?
Becky, but it is Kylene. But yeah, I knew you'd understand that. But getting to be around people that are just really do care about other people and want nothing but the best for them. We had a great conversation this morning. We had 5 of us there, and just 5 of us at the Grounds for Success, and yet I felt like we made so much progress. We had so much insight. It was like, I felt like it was like 100 people in there. There was so much goodness that came out of that. So that's what I'm grateful for. Just the people that I get to surround myself with wows me every day.
It was so fun to see some new faces in there today too.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Well, we got people finding us here. So I think it looks like Facebook stayed the same place, but it was just YouTube where we had to kind of make a jump. So the only other person I saw over there was Chuck. So Chuck, if you found us, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to send you a direct message here. But let's talk to a couple of them here real quick. And Michelle Wilson is listening and designing, and awesome. And then Barb found us. Appreciate that, Barb. Let's see here. Slow with this. I'm going to have to figure out that. Michelle says, I'm grateful for my family and friends that check in with me during this storm. Absolutely. Okay. Love it that you've got that. And Rena, we were a little late because of the technical challenges. So you're right.
You were probably early, Rena.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good point. And then Barb's got 6 degrees here.
Is it windy? Is it windy, Barb? Because we've had like 40-mile-an-hour winds all day today.
Wow.
So it's
cold.
Cold.
Yeah. We're just, I know we get snow and it's been a little bit chilly here, but the cold that you guys have up that way, Becky and Barb, we were just up there, and I don't know how you do it, to be honest with you.
the 10 degrees, it feels like -9 at the moment.
I think it was -11 when we were up there by the lake.
Yeah.
You definitely got to experience it, Aaron.
Yeah. So experienced it. Said I.
It was warm when you were up here, though, by the way.
It was 0, so
It was warm.
It's a warm 0. So
my mom's house was warm. I can say that.
Yeah, that's true. That was good. Yeah. I like that we have people to visit there, and we're just going to leave it at that. We'll visit.
Summertime's a better time to go, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chandler says, I am grateful for mental strength. And Barb says, yes, very windy.
Yep.
And then Chandler says, ooh, no, thank you. All right. So I am going to work on, let's change that. Maybe it'll come a little faster with that one. Okay. So appreciate you guys checking in. Like I said, I'm going to shoot a message to Chuck because we always look for Chuck because he's always like right there. Hey, everyone.
His comment was there right away. When
it was.
The other one. So.
And so I know he was there, but anyhow. All right. Well, where do we want to head from here? I guess, Becky, you had brought up the fact, and I think this is really awesome. Just kind of how this all started, what kind of was the point? I don't know. Just I'm excited. I know I've heard a little bit of this story from you in the past, but I'd love to kind of hear it again because it's really cool how everything kind of connected. So do you want to start with that part of it?
I could try. I'm not sure if I have the same story or not that we're thinking about, but
Well, we'll make it up as we go.
you let me know, fill in some blanks that I don't remember because I feel like I'm missing.
Well, if I remember, I'm the one that didn't remember when you and I first met. So.
Yes. So, I mean, and that would have been, let's see, I've been in business now 6 years. So I would have met you at DAX in the first year and a half of my business. And you and Terry had a sublimation seminar. Is that the right word? That I attended. And I did not know anything about that at that time. I actually had an embroidery machine that I hated. And I had my Cricut. So obviously my business started because I bought myself a Cricut for Christmas. You know, us as moms need to buy our own gifts, right? And so I really thought I was going to make cards. And after the first time I put paper on the Cricut mat and it stuck, I went, that is BS. That's not going to happen. Not going to play this game. And they happen to have some heat transfer vinyl on there also that came in the whole package or whatever. And so I started with that, and then it really has steamrolled for me. But I had met Aaron back then, and he does not remember that, which is fine. Because I know I talked to you and Terry afterwards for a little bit. That's the only reason I know I remember you from.
Okay.
So,
all right. Yeah.
But you talked to a lot of people that day, as you do for every show. And I mean, after being at the show in Las Vegas, I totally understand that because I talk to a lot of people, and I can't tell you that I know everybody I talk to.
Okay, so. Good. So you understood. Okay, I appreciate that very much. It is hard. I love meeting people, and you know, sometimes you remember them, sometimes you don't specifically. And at that point in my career life, right? I mean, I certainly wasn't doing this, and you know, and if I'm doing a sublimation thing with Terry, I'm sure there was plenty of at least what we thought was funny. So, so yeah, definitely.
I learned a lot there, I guess. Let's just put it that way. And I did. I moved over into sublimation for a while. And let's see, you and I and Kylene connected probably 2 years ago now.
I think so.
Probably.
Right. Yeah.
Just through mutual friends and different groups or whatever. But it wasn't until I actually bit the bullet and decided to join the Masters of Success program that I was able to really start working with you guys. And then Kylene, I guess you and I probably started a little bit even more before Aaron and I started talking because we were doing yoga and tapping before that. So that's really kind of how this all started. But Masters of Success Masterminds is really where I got into knowing and understanding my business, which led me to the fact that I don't need and don't want to do sublimation. And by that point, then I had totally dove into the direct film side of the dark side of that. So with a lot of headaches and a lot of heartache there for a while too.
I remember that time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
We were like, Becky, put the gun down. And she wasn't shooting any person. She was going to shoot the machine.
Yes. Still wish I would have, but it's okay. It's all gone now. I think all the parts and pieces are missing. So it's all good.
Awesome.
But from there, it just led to a lot of discussions and a lot of talks and a lot of help with moving the business forward, which just kind of led to trying to work together. So
yeah,
and here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it led to here and the Summit of Success.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, I'm very collaborative by nature. Sometimes maybe to a fault, but I think that's what's always fun, right? Like you never know what's going to come out of conversations. And what I'll say is, Becky, what I love about Becky, one of the many things I love about Becky is how she's willing to let's just have that conversation, right? She wasn't afraid to, you know, go to the consultaaron.com and reach out and say, here's what I'm working on, or here, what do you think about this? And I'm trying this. And so that to me is so powerful because we have to be willing to just, you know, put stuff out there and see what's going to stick for things to progress. Right. So if you're kind of waiting for somebody to reach out to you, man, that's tough, right? But if you are willing to, you know, be authentic and be honest and just say, hey, here's where I'm at. What do you think? Any thoughts? There are plenty of people out there that are willing to help you. And obviously the three of us do this every, you know, week that we can because of that exact reason, Right. So I thought that was really cool. Colleen, what else as far as when, as Becky mentioned, you guys have been and still do tapping and the yoga and that type of stuff. So what was your connection point like? What's your side of the story before I share my side of the story?
Well, obviously, Becky is a sweetheart, and we were just kind of on the same journey of wellness and getting in the right mindset for our business, wanting that to surround ourselves with positive, growth-minded people. I think that's initially what attracted me to you, and then we just kind of started doing the tapping and finding the power in that, right? And then our friendship started building because we would stay after and chat for a little bit, and then yoga, and then MOS was like, I don't know, that was, I don't know,
The
6
missing
months
puzzle
after.
piece. For me, it
Yeah.
was the missing puzzle piece.
Yeah. And then you and Tanya surprised me in Minnesota, so I got to meet you in person when we went up there for my dad's funeral, which is a difficult time, and that was such a blessing to have that surprise, and then get to meet you in person. That was really neat.
And I think that really speaks to who Becky and Tanya are. It was a neat surprise, and obviously, like you said, difficult situation, but I felt like that just set up that whole, because even though it was a challenge, I still think it was beautiful, and what an amazing opportunity to celebrate your dad, and that was just such a good way to start that, I think, for your mindset. And I think, again, that's what it's all about, right? That's what being in a community really is all about, is just showing up for people, right? Michelle had mentioned earlier, just grateful for people that are just, you know, she's going through a storm right now. And so, you know, yeah, reach out to people. And I think sometimes we don't want to bother people, but I think more often than not, we're better served to just reach out, right? So, and that's not an area that I'm great at, right? And so I'm trying to be better at it, and I'm learning from at the feet of the masters here. So, yeah. So just to kind of tie all this up and kind of where this came together, right? So, like Becky said, I got to meet her, but I didn't remember that time. Fast forward January of 2020, OSG is getting started. It's always really been about the community. And obviously, if you guys remember January of 2020, fast forward a couple of months, things got a little crazy in this world. And now all of a sudden, it being a business owner felt even more isolating than it did before, because we couldn't leave our houses. Right? And so we started having Zoom events, and some of them got a little carried away. I think people were just trying to have some cocktails and forget about the craziness that was going on in the world. But the reality was, it was a building of a community of people that and kind of waited itself out. But some of the conversations that were going on in those moments was, wouldn't this be cool when this is all over to like get together and do a OSG retreat kind of thing. And so that kind of always stuck in the back of my mind. And as I started talking with Becky, learning more about her, learning what her superpowers are, we did the live event back in June, the Fundamentals Live. And Becky was very integral in making that happen, and just making it an experience, right? Like, I was able to show up and share and teach and give tools from the book. But then there was just this experience, right? We had these cool pens. We had, just fun stuff. I think the only real kind of extra fun thing that I brought to the table, I think Becky was like kind of surprised and proud, was the autograph session at the end.
Yes, that was awesome.
It was pretty cool. So it just kind of fast forward to that. And so after that got done, we kind of sat down and said, okay, well, what's next? Right. You have this space that is not too far from your parents, if I'm
Great.
correct. Right.
About little over an hour away from me.
Okay.
Where I am currently at. Yep.
Okay. And this is kind of up by Fargo, right? Fargo.
Yes. I mean, you're about an hour and a half.
Okay.
A little more than an hour and a half from Fargo. So
Okay.
yes.
And you've been there, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I haven't, and just seeing the pictures, like I'm like, can we go tomorrow? Like this place looks amazing, and not only does it just like kind of look amazing, it just has this feel of a space that you just want to kind of be in, like it's a warm hug, right? In a way.
Yep.
So I guess let's talk a little bit about that, and then obviously the other thing that we wanted to kind of open up for folks here is, just what's going on, right? We had an opportunity that Grounds for Success this morning to talk about what's working in our businesses and things like that. But any questions or anything that, okay, what does Summit of Success mean to you guys? Is anybody considering it? What's the next steps for everyone? And if you're tuned in right now, let's make this a valuable opportunity for you guys to get any questions.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure we're open to whatever. I know I am. So
the other thing we talked about this morning was giving and ways that you can give of your time and talent, not always monetary. And I feel like we had some really great things that came from that too. Just for one, for me to share that came up after I was thinking about things, because at the moment I couldn't think of things, but it was the fact that I have now gone through I did not. My helper went through all of the inventory for me, and I gave her a very specific, like, this is what I want to keep. And so as she was going through, there were a few things, hold up, do you want this? No, so now we have 2 boxes full that are going to actually be donated to our women's shelter, the locally here. So just something that obviously it's monetary at one point for me, but it's not right now. So it is something that I know that I can give back that will help somebody at some point. And that's the part that matters for me.
Yeah. That's
awesome.
super cool. That's super cool.
So if anybody has I know Chandler gave us some this morning of, how to give in time and talents and stuff a little bit. So we love to hear those kind of things too. But I'm going to kind of go with let's see, what does Michelle said? The Fun Live was a great experience, and I highly suggest to attend the summit. Thank you, Michelle.
Oh.
Yes, the Fun Live was amazing. So
we'll keep that theme going then real quick.
Amazing learning from you all. Yes.
Yes.
And we learned from Chandler also. So
absolutely.
I think is the part that people I want them to understand that when you come to this retreat, Aaron will be there, Kylene will be there, I will be there. Aaron is going to be teaching some, but it's not meant to be days and hours of nonstop sitting in a classroom type feeling, because that's not the point of this. The point is to come to this retreat, and retreat in my mind means reset, refocus, relearn, I guess, for lack of a better term.
I like that.
But this space gives us an all-inclusive per se, because your rooms are there. We will eat there. We will have everything will be done at this lodge. Honestly, your closest restaurant is the local bar. And I was telling this to somebody else. I said, when you think local bar, it's not local bar like St. Louis local bar. It's local bar of a town of 300. Everybody is going to turn and look at you if you walk in that door. and they will whisper very loudly to find out who you are. So the space is meant for you to be able to come and let go of the daily grind and have it be your time to focus on your business, on yourself, and just have that reset time.
Yeah.
So dates. Arena's wondering if we have dates. Yes. April 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Yep. April 10th, 11th, and 12th.
So
if you go to osg.link/SOS, Summit of Success, but also a little play on words there, right?
Yes.
You need a little help, send out that SOS, send out that recharge. And I guess what I'll say too about that, right, Becky, in fact, I think Chandler kind of summed it up really nicely here. It's not a class, it's a collaboration.
Yes.
Because even at Fun Live, right, while there was teaching and things like that going on, and yes, we sat around a conference table and did some things. I never felt like I was up there preaching. In fact, half the time I just sat at the conference table There were a few times where I needed to get up and make some points, but that's, again, yeah, like you said, that's what this is really all about. It's going to be structured, so you're going to get a lot of value out of this, but it will never feel like you're sitting in a classroom and like, oh my gosh, I'm going to spend hours of my life that, hopefully I'll get something out of this kind of thing. And here's the other part that I'm super excited about, because again, when we talked about going back to the COVID days and we're feeling very isolated and all that stuff, like this is a recharge that you don't want to miss, because not only you're going to come and have this community, but everything's taken care of for you too. That's the other thing I love about you. Like you mentioned, right? You're not having to go figure out dinners, and like everything is taken care of for you. Beautiful rooms. You're going to have wonderful meals, snacks, entertainment, networking, learning, guidance, support. Like Becky's going to do cool stuff that she's not even going to tell us about, and it's just going to happen because that's who she is. It's her superpower. She's also the one that has all of her Christmas gifts already done and wrapped. So, see, so it's her superpower. But why that's so important, I think, is think about this. You're a business owner. You're responsible for everything. You have to make all the decisions, right? Like Kylene, you and I all the time have this struggle. We get to the ends of our day and it's like, okay, what's for dinner? And we're like, oh gosh, one more decision. Right? Like, let's just go out again, right? Or whatever. So the fact that there's nothing for you to have to worry about, having somebody else take care of everything for you, and all you have to do is be there, show up for yourself, show up for your business. Man, this doesn't happen very often for business owners, right? So take advantage of this, especially at the price that we've got it at. I mean, that blows me away that we've been able to pull it off for the price that we've got it at. So, Kylene, I know that I've been talking a lot here. What?
Yeah. So I just want to, talk about it a little bit. Like for me, I feel like this is an experience. So anytime you go to events and you're with others and you're going through something kind of transformational, that energy gets transferred between people, and all that positive energy just starts to build up in you. And that's what we remember, right? We remember those feelings of how we felt and the people we're surrounded with. And that's when that transformation really happens. And so what a gift it is for you to go there, invest in yourself to do this. I just think that there's retreats out there, but this is one designed specifically for us in mind to recharge and just get reconnected with why you started your business, right? Reconnect with, maybe you're not a business owner, maybe you want to reconnect with your mission in life. You just need to just get away from the distractions and just come in and participate fully without any other pressures. It's just you. And I think that is the real magic of that event.
Yeah. Well, and a thing we haven't talked about a whole lot yet is, there will be wellness aspects of this, right? And, the cool part is we'll kind of tailor it, and it'll be specifically for those that are there, and make it fit so everybody's comfortable, but yet, willing to play full out. And so, what could some of those things be, Kylene? What would that look like, maybe a little bit from a wellness side?
Yoga for sure. So some morning yoga just to start our day. And it's not, go ahead, Aaron.
Well, just real quick, I know you're so close to it, right? We know about it. Becky's been through it and stuff like that. But sometimes I believe when people, because this was me for a very long time, when we hear the word yoga, we go, okay, nope, I can't even touch my knees. Well, so I'm not that pretzel. Right.
Okay.
I had an opportunity to talk to a yoga guy just yesterday. He was, sharing some things. So could you kind of give us a little bit more depth on what yoga means?
Yeah. So for me and my style of teaching, I say gentle yoga because for the whole reason for yoga for me and why I find it so powerful is the goal is to quiet your mind. It's to just stay connected to your breath. Truly, the movement part is wonderful, added bonus, but really, truly, the power is learning to connect with your body. It's building that harmony between your mind and your body and listening to what it's trying to tell us. So often life just keeps happening and it keeps coming and coming. We never pause to just be still. And that's where those insights come in. That's where we feel energized again and relaxed and less stress. And then we can problem solve and have all those other productivity benefits that come from it. So really, it's starting our day getting in that headspace as you go into this powerful learning and connection event.
Yeah.
And we will have the option for modified,
Yeah.
either the modified yoga or the chair yoga. Chair yoga is just as beneficial as the regular yoga, and a great place to start for anybody that does not currently do yoga or hasn't for a long time or anything like that. It is a great place to start. So, and if you hear or listen to Kylene's voice, it's the most calming and soothing voice I've ever heard. So, I mean, a lot of times when I do yoga with her, I'm not even usually looking at the screen because I can follow what she's saying. There's been a couple times when I've totally miscued, but it works.
It
But
could be my rights and lefts.
Yeah. Sometimes there's
we usually just go with whatever feels good at that point. But,
Yeah.
That's right.
it's just her voice is so calming. So the gentle part of it and getting that mindset part that she's talking about is very calming and such a great way to start. So
Yep. Set our intentions for the day and just start our day with good energy and focus, so we can get the most from the event.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Chandler says chair yoga, yay. And then Chandler also said if you listen correctly with your eyes and ears, then you will learn. You learn from everyone. I totally out of the circle of business. So Chandler is actually an executive director and founder of a nonprofit organization, right? So yeah, not a business owner in the sense of some of us here. Becky as a t-shirt printer, obviously more than that, but that's what came out, and whatnot. So yeah, there is something for everyone, but I think, I'd love to hear, Chandler says, I agree about the voice. Sorry, I'm distracted here, but I would like to hear from those that are tuned in right now, whether it's about Summit of Success or not, but I think this is a really cool opportunity for us to talk about some ways that we can recharge. Obviously, the number one way is we're going to see you in April, and that'll be like a big recharge. But yeah, at the end of the week, you've had a hard week. Becky, what do you do?
Biggest part is just shutting things off. Like I've really started to try to end my days. I have not set the timer for a while. I have been out of using my tools as I should, and that was discussed this week.
Good.
That I'm. Yes.
She's going to hate me sooner rather than later.
If anybody isn't listening that has not heard the should could combination, that is my part of my.
It's super hard. And to be honest with you, the only reason I recognize it, Becky, is because I was so bad at it that I had to be really intentional about it. And now I've kind of caught. Now I hear it in everybody. So I can tell that in a second. Keep going. I apologize for interrupting.
No, you're fine. So with not setting the timer, I was not doing my end of day. To close out my stuff and to recharge and reset at the end of the day, I have been trying to set a timer so that, okay, I need to be somewhere at 4:30. That means I want to be out the door by 4. I need to be and give myself about a half hour to stop what I'm doing, close things down, reset the calendar, reset my papers on my desk, which glad you can't see the papers on my desk. But it gives you that time to switch gears. My shop is attached to my house. So I don't have that time to drive home or change venue per se, to change your mind from work to home and home to work. So sometimes I don't feel like I shut off completely when I walk out the door, even though I can physically shut a door and go into the house, which that has made a big difference. However,
awesome.
Just walking across the garage doesn't give me enough time to change gears. But by using that end of day timer for me, it changes your mind from like, okay, I'm shutting off work and now I'm going to go home and now I can start homework, work at home. So it just really shifts that time. And that has helped me to be able to reset.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
Rena says totally need to reset.
Perfect. We will see you in April, Irina.
That's right. That's right. I love it. Perfect. Yeah. So again, we want to hear from you guys. We're kind of crowdsourcing this here. Becky's ideas are fantastic, and I've seen it work in you too, right? When you are using those tools, you guys want me to quickly clarify the could should thing?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So the reason why I interrupt Becky when she says the word should is we're trying to, as masters of success and as people that are following the fundamentals, the idea is we want to remove things like should, because you did exactly what you were able to do in that moment with your current level of skills, abilities, and knowledge. Right? In that moment, right? So maybe it was a down moment. Maybe your vibration was a little bit low. Maybe you were tired, whatever. And you can't change it. And honestly, you don't want to change it because it made you who you are next. And so this whole idea of should is we kind of jokingly say, let's not should on ourselves. And I'm not cursing. We're saying let's not should on ourselves. So what we want to look for is what are the coulds? What could we do? Okay, I can't change the past, but if I learn from that, I could make a different choice in the future. So, like I said, it was something that I was really, I don't know, bad at. But again, going back to it just was the way that I was until I stopped and said, I need to be intentional about this. I need to learn about it. And now I hear it everywhere. Like I really have to watch myself. I will interrupt people that don't even know me and like, hold on. They don't understand what I'm talking about. So with Becky, she understands it. And so we can, and it, I hope people would do that for me too. So
I should expect it.
yeah. You should expect it. You could expect it. And then, so anyways, I wanted to clarify that real quick.
And just to add to that, it's just empowering yourself to make a new decision and taking any of that shame and blame away. Is really the power of it.
It's back to the negative self-talk. I mean, at that point, that becomes the negative self-talk that we don't need, and to change the mindset. So,
yeah. Love it. I love it. So Michelle says, I'd love to attend the summit, but no decision until mid-January for sure. Absolutely. With what's going on, we get it.
Trainings are a tax deduction, though. We'll make it a training.
That is true. Yeah, it is a training. You're going to have a workbook. You're going to, there's going to be.
You will have training. It will just be in a very amazing way.
Yeah. So when I had an opportunity to talk to some of my industry friends that are in charge of the media stuff and magazines like the Apparelist and a few places like that. And my friend Cassie, who runs the Apparelist, was asking me questions. Like we sent her the press release and she's like, hey, this is really awesome. Can you, can I ask you some questions about it? And one of the things that she was kind of interested in is like, I haven't seen anything like this in our industry ever. And I'm like, no, there hasn't. Right. I can't think of anything in the 25 years I've been doing this that would be comparable to this. Right. There's been some things, really cool stuff that people do out there, but I don't think I've ever seen anything else like this. And so having that opportunity to come in April and do this, I think is going to be a must attend. And, as Rena says, we're our worst critics. So if we can have a new mindset, right. And you're going to get that you're going to leave with that motivation to be reminded to go, no, stop saying should, right? So we're trying to remove the word can't from our house, right? And that just, again, it's like you said, Kylene, it's about empowering yourself and just making those small changes. It didn't happen for me overnight to where I pick out the shoulds all the time. And I still probably say should more than I understand. But the reality is I know that shift in me has been drastic in improving my life, my business, my relationships, all that stuff. So, yeah. And, sorry, I missed the first question. I clicked on the wrong one. Chandler says, can you all explain how it may be a little different from Fun Live, or will it be the same other than the amazing place? Becky, you want to tackle that?
Yep. So, I mean, for anybody that wasn't at Fun Live, it probably won't make a lot of sense, but Fun Live, I think we really tried to set up more as training and to really work through not quite all 13 fundamentals, but really try to get through Aaron's book and the 13 fundamentals. That was really the goal, was to really compact it and give you the most bang for your buck out of the information from the book and working the fundamentals and stuff like that. Now we're going to do some of that, but what we learned with Fun Live is we needed space for a little more time with some of the fundamentals. So we're trying to make this be where you have that space and that time to really get a really solid foundation started. So when you go back, that you are off and running and you have things in place, you're ready to go. And then we are still there to support you when you go home. You're going to go home with a whole bunch of new connections, a network of people that will be by your side when you want them, when you need them, because that's the people that I believe will show up. The same people that will show up for, that. So you will get fundamentals training through Aaron's book. And if you don't already have Aaron's book, are we adding that? I guess I don't. Without saying we're adding that, I think we're adding that as part of.
Yep, absolutely. We are adding that. Yes,
we are adding that as part of your registration and stuff. You will get the book.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just so that you get it there. We'll just have it there for you.
If you've got one, bring it, and we'll do a little. Not just me signing, we can all sign each other's books and stuff like that. So,
I mean, we'll definitely be working through some of the fundamentals, but it won't be quite as intense, maybe. I mean, I still think it's going to get intense because I think it's just going to be so good. Yeah. It's going to be so good in the learning and what you can unlock. And that is the other part I believe that we are going to include it throughout the days. A couple times is the unlocking your potential that both Aaron and Kylene do. I believe Kylene is going to plan to lead that for us. And if you haven't also done that one, that is such an amazing thing. And it is meant to be done more than once. It's probably something that's probably what I need to be doing. I could be going and doing my unlocking the potential.
Yeah, there you
go.
Love it. Yeah.
And that'll be a part of what also happens. So try to answer Chandler's message there. Fun Live was 2 days, right? We've added essentially another day. So we're essentially looking at 3 days. I mean, it's half and half, but it still feels a little bit like we have more time. Also, with this venue, with not leaving and having everything all inclusive, I believe that even in the evening when we've stopped per se the training of the day, that time will be spent working, and whether you realize you're doing it or not, you'll be doing things. And I'm working on ways to make that happen.
You're connecting at a deeper level when you don't have to go back to the normal life, right? You're just fully immersed in everything.
And I think, what I really, like you said, right, we learned from Fun Live that there needed to be a little extra space to really kind of dig down deep, right? You guys, anybody that knows me well enough knows that I just want to jam pack as much value into things as possible. And while that's great, I think there, was a little bit of missed opportunity in the fact that, let's go deeper on the why. Let's go deeper on what your number one goal is. Because here's the fun part about it, even though it won't be quite as fundamental intensive to try to hit all 13, we're going to hit all 3 of the areas. So the 13 are broken down into 3 segments, and we're going to hit all 3 of those and have experiential things that come out of all 3 of those areas that we can implement right away. So even though it's not that kind of training like Fun Live was, you're still going to have all the ability to implement all these things. Once you're gone, you're just going to have a lot more depth and a lot more motivation, and you're just going to feel better, and not that we didn't feel good after. I mean, I'm still on fire from June. But the reality is, I think we figured out how to make this even better. And so that's kind of the intention here.
Yes.
No. All right. I know we were kind of keeping it a little bit shorter, but I got us away from the concept of, how do we recharge in the meantime kind of thing. Becky shared some great tools with us. Kylene, do you have a few things, or at least just do one? You know what? Let's just do one.
Oh.
And I'll just do one. And then if you guys, but I'm still waiting for you guys in the comments here. What's your number one? Like Michelle, for example, I know we're going through a storm. How do you recharge? Right. Chandler, whoever wants to pop in here, Barb, you're still here. All of you guys, amazing. Mo, I'm scrolling back through Rena, Chuck, right? So sorry, I'm just calling everybody out. I'm trying to figure out, I don't want to miss anybody. So if I missed you, I apologize. So Kylene, sorry, go.
Yep. Yeah. So, okay. You only are letting me say one thing that you to recharge.
Okay.
I think it's spending time, like intentional time with family and friends. That really fills me up, because during the week, it seems like I'm a little bit distracted and pulled in lots of different directions. So to really nurture those relationships that are important to me on the weekend, I really want to say a second one, just because
Okay, go ahead.
you're going to love this one.
Okay.
I love my naps. And on the weekend, I can take that quality time for me. And it doesn't have to be terribly long. It's just, it truly does recharge me. So I would say for me, it's those two things.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I give Kylene a little bit of a hard time about the naps because I can't nap. No, sorry. There was the word.
Oh.
I am not good at napping because my naps tend to be basically asleep. Like once I'm out, I'm kind of out. And so I can sleep for 6 hours in the afternoon and then be like, oh, now I'm not going to sleep tonight. So, all right. I will, man. So I'm actually not going to give one specific here. What I'm going to say is I want people to think differently about what recharging means to them, right? I think a lot of times we do think that it means it's got to be a nap or this or that or the other thing, which is totally right, right? Like it's right for Kylene, right? And what Becky shared was right for Becky. I think what recharging really means, though, this is my personal opinion, so you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, is recharging means how do you regain the motivation? How do you regain, again, in this scenario, we're talking to business owners here, how do you regain that love for your business? Right. So to me, recharging means taking that deep breath and looking at my why and going, okay, why am I doing this? Yep. No. And just feeling that feeling of what it means to, get people the ability to fall back in love with their business for me, or you help people achieve their goals, or, share the fundamentals. So once I have that, that's like a recharge for me. So I guess my point is what's a recharge for you might mean it's a little bit different than what you think would be typical. And it's really what motivates you to take action, in my opinion. So what do you guys agree, disagree? What?
No, I totally agree. That's what keeps us going forward, right? When you're connected to your why and you're doing the activities to learn, and they feel right, they're fulfilling and purposeful. That does excite us, and it does keep us moving forward too. So it's a different look.
You want to read Chandler's?
Oh man, I see what. Oh, it's gone. Well, I was going to say naps and didn't cause a fear. D can't nap either. D is in the Aaron over here. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah.
I love it.
You can nap. It's just you can't take a short nap. It's just.
I'm not good at short naps. I'm actually more grumpy after a short nap than not napping when I'm tired.
Becky, where do you fall on this?
I can nap, but I usually pay for it later because then I can't sleep. So it's better if I don't, for the most part, unless I'm not feeling well, and then I would nap. So, but otherwise, yes, I lay there and then I'm scrolling who knows what at 11 o'clock at night because I can't sleep. So
I hear ya.
Reading, if I can read a book, sit and read a book too, like on a weekend. A leisure book, or, a fun book that isn't always the business book. I got burnt out for a while trying to do all the business ones and that kind of stuff. And so I really kind of switched gears. Of course, it's Christmas time, so I love a good Christmas book. So I read one on the way home from Albany the other day.
Aw.
Love it. I love it.
So,
Eh, Michelle says naps are my best friend right now.
Mm.
So there we go. We got team nap. Maybe we should,
team
figure
nap.
out that poll real quick and just say team nap or team no nap, right?
Yeah.
And then Rena says, for me, my recharge for my business is trade shows, connecting with vendors and other small business owners. Love it.
I like
Love
that.
it. Love it.
I really want to see you in April, Rena. I think I will see you in January, but I really want to see you in April.
There you go. There you go.
So,
And then I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Jerry Dahlheimer. He just sent me a Facebook message, and so I just want to give him a shout out and let him know that we're thinking about him and praying for him. He says sitting in the hospital after a major stroke yesterday. So
Oh, no.
yeah, I don't know if he's watching the show or not, but
Okay.
he is on from time to time, and so if he hears this, Jerry, and I'll put it in a message back to him here in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of
Good
thoughts and
job.
prayers there.
Yeah.
All right. So Chandler, team nap. All right. So we'll make that a thing here. I can see a Facebook post coming for that. So, speaking of that, can I share that real quick, you guys? If I
Yeah.
can find it, maybe. Well,
I like the fact that Rena says already looking at flights.
Whoop, whoop. That's awesome.
okay, you guys have to keep me honest here because sometimes I say a lot of things and then I sometimes do forget. I do try to always do what I say I'm going to do, but sometimes it's just lack of, I forget to write it down or whatever. I said that I was going to do something for the first person
Yeah.
that signs up, right? Did I ever say what it was?
You did not.
Okay, good. I still have left that open. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'm really putting myself in a bad spot here, but probably am, and I'll pay for it later, and that's okay. Whoever's first, you guys get to pick what you want me to do for you. Is that a bad idea? You guys looking at me like I'm crazy, or okay? All right, I got approval. I got approval.
I had lots of ideas in the background, so I was just leaving it to see what was going to happen. So.
Okay, Chandler says yes. You have left it open. So she's got idea. Oh well, I'm gonna have to find out from Becky. Maybe we'll put some ideas out there. But let's. No, you know what? I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna let. Now, what my guess is gonna happen is somebody's gonna go, oh, and then it'll just be like not a whole lot, but and I'll be like, oh no, I was willing to do more than that. So I'll have to get those ideas from you, Becky. We may. That's what that's kind of like my customer service tip for people real quick. If you just let them tell you what they want to make it right, more often than not, it's going to be less than you are willing to give to begin with. So the best thing to do in a customer service situation where you're trying to solve a problem is be quiet. It's super hard. Just be quiet. And then, like I said, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be less than you are willing to do to begin with. So just go, oh, yeah, I'm happy to do that for you. Thank you so much for working with me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, Chandler wants a steak dinner. Okay. All right.
Smart.
And all right. Yes, Rena says that is dangerous. Yes, it is. But I have faith in you guys. So,
but you won't know until you're the first one.
That's right. That's right. So if you want to be the first one, head over to osg.link/SOS, and you can just click on the button right there and reserve your spot. I guess the thing we didn't mention is while we'd love to host everybody that wants to be there, the space is limited. There are 11 rooms, and as of right now, all 11 are available. So kind of you get first pick, so to speak. And now they are all double occupancy rooms. So if you would like to bring somebody with, like you have a friend that you want to bring or a spouse or whatever, then absolutely. And that saves you some money. But if you want to just have the space to yourself, that's totally fine too. But after the 11 rooms are gone, the 11 rooms are gone. We're not putting up tents or anything like that. So
maybe it's still a little cool in April.
Yeah.
Yep. So I don't think you want to be out in a tent anyways. So 11 rooms, first come, first served. I know, we got to make April still a little ways off, but because at this point, right, we've talked about it a little bit on here. This is obviously a lot of talking about it right now, but beyond that, we haven't done a ton yet, right? Like we've been we wanted to let the holidays kind of clear out. I sent some stuff out press release wise, but coming up, right? So, yeah. All right. Anything else that we missed there, you guys?
Nope.
I don't think
Okay.
so.
All right. Well, Kylene, Chuck did share his how he recharges. He tends to scroll TikTok.
And
Love it.
kind of with Chuck,
Yeah.
I'd rather scroll TikTok than take a nap. So
Yeah. I that's interesting. I met I met somebody today that she's on TikTok and does pretty well on TikTok, and she started out on TikTok as like a vegan, like sharing the vegan way, and now she's sharing the carnivore way. She just she was willing to change, and she's totally open about it too. She's not trying to hide the fact that she used to be all about vegan, and now she's all about the carnivore diet, and she learned some things. And anyhow, sorry, way off track there. Just this story. I was like, wow, that's interesting, and I was really proud of her for being like, yeah, I'm totally open about the fact that I flip flopped, and I get it. So
interesting.
yeah,
There's a lot of things to learn on TikTok if you go looking for things to learn. If you're scrolling, you're going to find a bunch of crap.
yeah,
Yeah.
But I mean, seriously, I taught myself to knit off TikTok.
Really? I did
How I
not
learned
know
how to
that.
do the blanket.
and now she teaches classes from time
I
to
do.
time. So
Yeah.
there you go. Okay.
So
Love it. I didn't know that. I'm
Okay.
terrible with TikTok. I would get stuck on it, so I really do try to avoid it as much as possible. I just know who I am, and I haven't been able to be good at. Like I said, you got to be intentional about it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
good. All right, Kylene, you want to close us out here?
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on our Rising Tide Talks tonight. And we really do appreciate all of you and hope we can see you guys at Summit of Success. Also, if you're not already there, join us over in the Facebook group. I don't know if we have a link for that.
Absolutely. I was actually trying to find that, and I got
I got there too fast.
No, you're good. You're good.
Anyway, you can join us over there at that Facebook group, osg.link/group. And just, if you have questions or just want to share some gratitude, just share it over there. It's a great group full of amazing people. And if you're not there already, please come join us.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's where you get the information about the Grounds for Success that happens every month. And today was that day. So I'm looking forward to talking to everybody again next month with that. But yeah, great group over there. And really good stuff. But honestly, I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys in April. So be that first person, and then we'll go from there. And yeah, tell us if you're interested. And honestly, Becky, people can reach out to you any way, right? Like
any way you can find me.
Okay, right.
I'm pretty easy to find, I think. But
yeah, absolutely.
I would love to talk to people about it.
Yeah,
it's
we're not going to sell you on something that's not right for you. It's just not who we are, and so ask us real questions like, okay, what am I going to get out of this? And we're going to go, okay, well, what are you looking to get out of this? Right. And if it doesn't fit with what the plan is, we're going to say, yeah, this is not the right fit for you. And hopefully we'll be able to point you to somewhere else. But please reach out though. Don't just kind of wait and hope, and be somebody that's going to take action here. I think it will be what you need in 2025. Okay. All right. Anything else that we need to close out with? I know I'm way out of kilter here, but I guess for me, I just want to remind people that we do want to take action, like I was just talking about there. And as a reminder, just understand that action beats inaction every time, hands down. Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. And we just, as Kylene said, to join us over in the group. That community of like-minded people is definitely the space to be. That will be what the Summit of Success is about. Working with those that are like-minded with you will not only help yourself personally, but will propel your business forward. And the group is a great place to get started there. See and look for the questions. Please engage in there, because everybody. I always go back to saying it's the simple-minded. Whenever we have our Masters of Success meeting, it's everybody has a perspective, and sometimes it's the simple part that you're missing because you can't see it. You can't see the tree for the forest, and that's where I believe.
See anything.
Right, absolutely. That's where I feel that group is there for you, because that ask the question, you're going to get answers. You're going to find people that can see that perspective from a different angle for you, and will just open your eyes for moving you forward. So we'd love to have you join us there and be engaging in there. So, and we would love to see you at the Summit of Success.
Yep. Can't wait to see everybody in April. But in the meantime, you guys, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being here. And Rena says thank you. Looking forward to seeing you in January, Becky. So I will be
at Long Beach.
Love it. I love it. I don't think I'm gonna make it this year, so I'll have FOMO, and you'll have to tell me all about it. All right, cool. Well, come back next week. We will, if you have topics that you want us to talk about, pop them in the group, reach out to one of us. We're happy to. The cool part about this program, you guys, is this is more of a discussion as opposed to like Kylie and I do Small Business Saturday, where we kind of have a topic and that's the way I operate, right? But this is the way Becky operates, and it's awesome. And so we need this, but we need you guys to help us figure out what topics to bring up each and every week. All right.
Have a great week, everybody. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.